ask you've never been asked before. And then answer it.
Sort of, I don't know, I'd kind of like to be asked something like, how would you like? No, only get about the fun I've got. Never mind.
Don't worry, my dear.
What areas weren't covered yesterday?
I don't know. Yesterday we talked a little bit, Andromeda and how you sort of get into writing for a shared series. I think we covered the fact that things tend to come from the so-called human condition, or i.e. human experience, rather than being totally imaginary. And we did sort of have a tendency to get on to discussing stuff like forthcoming contemporary colours, so that they're obviously like toys, rather than appear realistic, you know, matte or chrome or whatever. Like nobody's going to respray them. Or like no criminal will ever think he's spraying his real gun bright red or bright green. That never happens in America when they wrote in that. I did pick up myself a nice Steyr replica rifle yesterday.
And you did stand in the hotel window, pointing it out of the window at the mundane.
I was testing out the built-in scope.
That's not a good idea in this part.
No, but I was inside the room.
Yeah,
I was at the back of the room.
Even so,
nobody could see me inside.
I had armed police round at my place when I
we were told this
shot a
yesterday.
laser pointer out the window. Well, it wasn't a laser pointer, it was actually a laser tube out of a laser disc machine. At some kid that had just thrown a brick through my window. I had armed police at my place within 5 minutes.
Now, never was seen from outside. No, unless they were using an equally powerful scope to look through one of the other power blocks, in which case
they probably were.
But,
they haven't got a good record down here, the armed response unit. They shoot on average about 6 people a year.
Oh dear, we have to carry this thing back on the train.
Unfortunately, it's in a box.
Well, so far they haven't killed 2 people that have been armed.
Oh.
Yeah, you're better off if you carry
More than armed.
Yeah.
You'd better go out and get some fluorescent green spray paint, I think.
No. I think there's the point where you say, look, you've got a snub 38.
They use AK-5s.
Yeah, I know. It's just that wouldn't be as cool a line, and I didn't bring my AK-5, unfortunately.
Who could shoot who first? That's the question.
Well, I could, but that wouldn't do much good, given that it'll only fire little plastic pellets that are totally harmless.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the plot.
Yes.
You haven't read my books then?
Oh, we have a question. We have a question.
Oh.
A genuine one.
Was Galaxy Quest and Andromeda really meant to resemble each other?
I have no idea because I've never seen Galaxy Quest yet.
You haven't seen Galaxy
No,
Quest?
I haven't seen Galaxy Quest
Long as you
yet.
spent all the money on gambling and we didn't have any money though.
Someone said I did see a copy of the DVD lying about in the gaming room. It was still there when we were there. I think we'll nick it. You can just imagine them putting out the ATV, you know, sort of, yes, look for sort of 6-foot spotted reptilian creature.
Carrying a stare and a copy of Galaxy Quest.
And probably the Terminator 2 Ultimate Edition.
Oh yeah,
as well.
Absolutely.
The snazzy metal case.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Seen in the company of
Those really ought to go and get them back scenes there. I'm a person that borrowed
person of
the owners.
indeterminate gender wearing a large heavy crest.
And the posing pouch, I don't think the gender was in question.
No, she's talking about you.
Somebody who will rape you from the next room.
And give us Atari female 6 orgasms.
I have to do like a fanboy question. What's your favourite and least favourite Doctor Who episodes and when you tell them why?
Favourite episode is probably Talons of Wen Chang. because it's got all Sherlock Holmes versus Fu Manchu, the Phantom of the Opera sort of air. The Beeb's design department is always much, much better at creating period costumes and sets than the futuristic. You know, you tell them this story is set in Victorian London, and they go all out, completely convincing. You tell them this story is set in 22nd century London. Let's get some cardboard flats up there, bit of tin foil on. It never occurs to them. The worst one's Time Lash. Well, it's not the worst Doctor Who episode. The worst Doctor Who episode is probably Time in the Rani of Twin Dilemma, because it was so dire. Badly acted, badly directed, badly everything. But
Thank God I wasn't in it then.
No, you weren't in it. Time Lash, or which is a convenient anagram of lame shit, because it is the one that really exemplifies this. They have the whole thing's based on H.G. Wells. And they have a bit where the Doctor goes to H.G. Wells's countryside, like Scottish Lochside lodge, and they've done the full job on that, make it really convincing. And then they go to the planets that are the planet that's supposed to have inspired the time machine, where they've got the Morlocks and so on. And they've just done literally blank flats, and the interior of the Time Lash is Christmas tinselling. And it never occurred to anybody, this is H.G. Wells, let's do steampunk. Let's do, I mean, even before they invented steampunk, but it never occurred to anybody to say, let's do how the Victorians would have viewed the future. Because that would have worked, and they would have been able to do that convincingly. And there lies the flaws in the BBC, and more evidence that they hate sci-fi, basically. I don't know how to go into that.
The early sci-fi shows had crap special effects anyway. I mean, look at Lost in Space.
No.
Well, there you are. It's so bad.
Yeah, but no, actually its special effects weren't that bad for its time. Its stories and acting were, and its costumes frequently were, but the special effects weren't The CBS famously turned down Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek because they already had their prime-time sci-fi drama, Lost in Space. Seriously. No, it's, the whole thing is Time Lash was made in the mid-80s, and you have this, they should have tried better, they should have actually thought, and they didn't. I'll have to think of a new answer to that one, because I used to say that I would love to start with a mysterious anti-hero who's lost his memories. And at the end, in the first season, reveal the TARDIS and reveal that it's the Doctor, and going to have a completely different theme tune until the end of the last episode, and that's the cliffhanger they go into the Doctor Who theme. And we make everybody realise, my God, we've actually been watching Doctor Who for a season, to realise it, and this was good. The only problem is, since then, Russell Davies, when he wanted to do his series that we were talking about yesterday, that was the one he was going to do. It's about this guy in Manchester who eventually turned out to be the Doctor. And they've now just done that one in the books. So I have no idea how to bring it back differently than that, because I'd have to think of something else. Yeah. Yes, it would be very cool to do it properly. No, they've done it okay. I think people are not so much bothered that they've done that improperly, because they've done that alright. It's how they ended the previous set that people complain about. Because the Ancestor Cell is quite fun, but it's full of so many huge plot holes, and like, why? It really did not follow on as a successful conclusion to all the build-up. It was like you have this build-up to this massive, what should be a massive fireworks display with like huge rockets and everything, and it goes, which is a shame. I think we'd all have ended that story out differently. You ask every one of the Doctor Who writers how they've ended that story out, we'd all done it differently, I think.
Sounds like the problem with BBC science fiction series. The short one-off. They started off really slow, builds up to really, really good, and then the final episode's a damn squid.
Yeah.
They did it with.
So you've seen Invasion Earth then?
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually,
Yes,
I'm
that's
not-
the sort of thing that Doctor Who could have done in half the running time, a quarter of the budget, and at least twice as entertaining.
Actually, I haven't seen the final episode because everybody said it was a damp squid, and I've just never bothered.
It's a,
So
you know what happens in the final episode, right? Is the fighter pilot gets back into your fighter, goes along, drops a special bomb on the thing, the smoke clears, it's still there, the end. That was it.
I won't bother watching it now. They
Very wise.
They did it with the Nightmare Man.
Oh,
Do you
yes.
remember that?
Oh,
Yes, I
that was
remember
good.
That was very good, but it was a damp squid ending.
Yeah.
They really built up the tension, and you were really interested. And then, right at the end, you went, "Oh."
Yeah.
It seems to be something the BBC does very well. They make some great drama. They really build the tension, and then they just
Yeah. The best ending ever.
Oh yeah.
yeah. But that wasn't actually. I didn't find that satisfying.
That's,
Yeah.
well, it's because they wanted to do that deliberately as a sort of, well, it could be an ending or it could be a cliffhanger depending
Just in
on
case
what
they
came
decide to
back.
bring it back. Yeah.
I'd love to write the final story for any incarnation of Star Trek and Dave McIntee.
I was going to ask you, how would you end Voyager?
How would I end Voyager? Well, basically, there has to be some sort of big rebellion on the ship, and like everybody kills everybody else, except Tuvok. Obviously, he survives.
So you're doing Shakespeare then?
Something like that.
His comedies.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm particularly fond of what's that? The Scottish comedy Macbeth. That's
thank
the
you.
best one.
You've said that in the presence of a thespian. You should get up, go outside, turn around 3 times, spit, swear, knock at the door, and ask to come in.
Shall I do it for him?
If you're not careful, we'll do the 3rd season episode of Blackadder where he does.
But listen, do you know Peter Egan?
Yeah.
I've got a question that I was
Well,
going to see. You know Peter Egan? His finger is like that. Because he was playing the unmentionable, the sword fight, cut the tendon. It is cursed.
It is
Now I've got a question for you, dear boy.
So I have been working for many years on a complete history of the real King and the Shakespeare play, and I know exactly where the curse comes from. It's actually in the 1800s, an American company. There had been a couple of accidents before that, cannons gone off on stage and smashed into the audience and stuff like that. But it was never really considered cursed until the middle of the 19th century. An American troupe had come to Britain to play it, and they got really heckled by the local actors. And then a couple of years later, the English ones went out to Boston to do it, or whichever city, Philly or Boston or wherever. And the American actors decided to get their revenge, and so they went and heckled, and they stirred up the local populace into a bit of a mob, and there was a riot nearly starting. The mayor ordered the militia, who were called out, to fire into above the heads of the crowd to disperse them. But somehow the order got misheard, and they fired into the crowd and killed about 20 people. And since then, that's when you first start seeing written records of it being a cursed play, really.
But it has many along the road.
Well, it has had other accidents and stuff before that, but it's only since then that you actually start seeing it that's definitely in written records referred to as a cursed play.
Question.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got 2, and you can watch this one. Watch that screen, first of all. Just watch it. Okay? Fine. Fine.
That's spelled wrong, yeah.
Fine. Wonderful. Now watch the next one. Closing ceremony. 1700 to 1645.
Hey!
It's a neat trick.
Yes.
Now my question. Everybody takes the Michael. But it's wonderful the way people buy my books.
Yeah.
Why didn't you bring any of yours with you this time?
I haven't got. There are some out there.
We have some of his books.
There's a pile of them in that little one.
Well, why aren't you sitting out there signing?
Because
Because I'm on a panel.
Well, after the panel, I expect to see you out there signing. See you later.
As soon as the panel finishes, we're going to whip him out there so he can sign.
You can
Oh,
whip it
right.
like a...
Yeah, you can work me in here. I'm surprised. I was just trying to be hot here, actually. That's what's bothering me. Any other questions?
Yes, if you could cast any actor as Doctor Who, who would you pick?
Richard O'Brien.
The shot was so
That's the one.
Richard O'Brien, no question. He'd be great. I always thought him and Sylvester McCoy should have swapped. Richard O'Brien should have been the Doctor and Sylvester should have presented the Crystal Maze, because Sylvester really good at getting an audience going and getting interacting with people. And he would have got the contestants really going. Much better than that Ed should have followed, whatever his name is, with Richard O'Brien. Other than that, other actors who would be really good, say we've got a short list. The only American I could think of who could do it would be maybe Steve Martin, because he could do it. The guy who played Wolf in 10th Kingdom.
I always thought Jeff Goldblum.
No, because he's sort of typecast in that sort of oddball.
And yet he plays Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. Now here's the
Isn't it a contract one? You have to say one faster
here's the really offbeat suggestion, which has been we've discussed this a few times on the internet. Because the guy's getting a bit old. You'd think he would have to find a way to slow down and not be quite so physical, but he always plays a sort of humorous, heroic underdog who stands for right and justice and helps. And that's why I think there should be a chance for the Jackie Chan Doctor. No, it's a lot, but think about it. Think about the characters he plays. Never mind the tumbling and the acrobatics. Think about the characters he plays. And tell me he wouldn't make a good Doctor.
There are a number of people that said after the comic relief one where they did lots of the Doctor
one with
Richard E. Grant.
Oh, he was the best one.
He would make a good Doctor.
He was the best one in that lot. Hugh Grant's crap.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell I would cast Stephen Fry. Don't let him anywhere near it.
Hugh Laurie might.
Nah.
How about Brent Spiner?
No. Frank Spiner plays two characters. Anything he's in, he's only got two characters. He does Data, he does that weird Paul Lynde impression that he does. And I don't think either of them would be suitable. He might make something like a good Davros or something like that.
They're very interesting Doctors.
Yeah. He's just so funny and octopusy, it's unbelievable. Every time he does the follow, every time I watch it, I see the follow that car line, it cracks me up. He's just so funny. He's in the DS9 episode as well. He's great in that. The one where Quartz Brothers came out.
I know he's a really good actor. I don't think he's good casting for a hero.
No.
Because he makes too good a villain.
No, that's what I was saying. He'd be good as something like Davros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually scary. He's one of those few actors that, whether they're acting or not, still is scary.
I think he is.
Yeah. You've got people like him and Robert De Niro's the other one. He's scary. He didn't know how to get in the right. Somewhat bizarrely, Bob Picardo, who's a really nice guy and very funny, but there's something about him that you just wouldn't want to get in the wrong side of the scene. But you didn't really see it until you meet him. And he is a nice guy, and it's not anything he does or says, it's just there's something about the atmosphere around that sort of says, don't get in the wrong side of this guy. I don't know why. But there are some people that like it. You were signalling?
No.
No?
No, I'm just coming to
No, you asked it behind.
Yeah, a while back you mentioned 10th Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I've never met anyone apart from me who actually watched it.
I did.
Enjoyed it.
I did.
Cool. Brilliant!
Hands up those who watch 10th Kingdom.
Oh yeah, I'm not alone. Okay, and I was, do you have changed anything and why?
I don't know about right now. I haven't actually seen the last episode yet, because the last episode was on when I was at AD 2000, so I had to get somebody to tape it and I haven't seen it yet. I think they're going to release it as a DVD box, and I'll probably get that. But if I was directing it, I'll say, you know how it's Diane Wiest who's the evil queen? Well, is that not just a role written for Kate Mulgrew? I mean, Diane Wiest isn't that great in it, to be honest. The guy who plays Wolf, as I said earlier, would be a brilliant doctor. He's just brilliant. But if only they could have got Kate Mulgrew as that character, she'd have been brilliant. It's like Diane Weiss tried to do a really crappy, cut-budget Kate Mulgrew impression as though it's getting the real effort. She would have been great as that, really taking the piss out of a normal screen image. But I would have made it maybe a bit less obvious some of the things. I know it's fairly obvious if you're quite early on how some of the things were going to turn out. It's quite obvious, like the Queen's going to be the Lassie's mother who ran away and stuff like that. I'd change that, try to hide it a bit more.
Yeah, you say you haven't seen the last episode. Have you worked out what's going to happen to the ring? So they throw the ring in the river.
Inside the fish. So
Oh, yeah.
It turns up on the dinner plate.
Well,
Yeah.
Sorry, but that one. I thought that one was a little too obvious.
Yeah.
yeah, that's very.
They didn't
It had to be done because it's
Oh yeah, it's tradition.
That's what the story is.
all the stuff is straight out of fairy tale.
Yeah, they're very faithful to that.
It was well done. They didn't
What about Al Bundy the Goblin King?
Oh God! Yeah, that's the problem. That's the other problem. You could not watch the Goblin King without thinking it's Al Bundy. He was pretty funny. They shouldn't have killed him. I'd have kept him alive. That's another trying technique. I wouldn't have let them kill the Goblin King because he's just so funny. They made nearly his character. Eh?
That would be cool, I think.
I don't know if he'd want to do it again. Labyrinth was a little cool.
Lots of restaurants. There's a lot of people that didn't.
I'm not quite like them. They didn't do that with the box up. Just the way things turn out. Any more? There's somebody else holding their own panel up at the back. Chris Boucher.
Does your writing Doctor Who books make you cope with the fact that our closing ceremony
Yes,
starts at
we
5 and finishes
just
half an
noticed
hour
that.
earlier?
Yes. Yeah, Chris Boucher, definitely.
Role model.
Ian Fleming probably is really another one. Far too many actually. They'd be the main ones, I think.
Role model.
Yeah.
Oh God, no, it says that in the con.
I know.
You can look it up.
Elaborate.
Alright.
Nobody's read the copy. Nobody
Role models.
until after they go.
Role
He
models.
hasn't got one. He
All
said,
right.
what's in role?
Role models. Tom Baker was the Doctor. Avon, because he's just so cool. And Graham Garden in the Goodies, because I always wanted to be a mad scientist.
Yeah, but you've got to have the tweed jacket with the leather patches.
I'm afraid I just couldn't take that final step. I mean, I went to college and everything, but I couldn't go that far, you know.
Damn on to get on.
I had to back out at the last minute. If I had grown up like in the last 15 years or so, I'd probably have said Ed Edmondson, or probably just Eddie Hitler, actually. But he's too recent to really have been a role model, so it's them please. Tom Baker, because he could just talk the most incredible bollocks and get away with it, and everybody loved him for
They
it.
could also tell everybody what to do.
Yeah.
And nobody would say anything.
Yeah, exactly. A1 because he's just so damn cool and macho. Which is not very politically correct, but there you go. And Graham Garden because it's just so much fun and it's great to be a mad scientist.
Can you decipher the computer language and I come to that screen? So let's get it started off with all of
Well, there's some text aligned in the set.
Only that was done.
More on topic questions.
Something funny. Keep the theme. Something that Dave can answer in a humorous
If you were to
style.
write a Doctor Who comedy novel, what storyline would it be?
I already did that, it just wasn't very funny. It's called Mission Impractical, go and buy it, it's there.
He's good. That's some really good in that.
Yeah, it's good in bits. I'd have to get
There's
more
also
practice.
some cool explosion.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we managed to you were offering a name of a character in the auction. I don't think we actually managed to mention it
No,
yet.
Fiona bought it.
Fiona bought it in the
Fiona
bar
bought
for
it. Oh, fair
£100.
Fair
And
dude.
she wants to die horribly.
She
Oh,
wants,
good.
yeah, she wants to be a member of the unit who dies horribly.
Do let us know
I
what-
can arrange that, no problem at
Do
all.
let us know which book it is so that we
Well,
can
it's
plug
in
it
bullet-
shamelessly.
It's in bullet time in August.
Right. We'll make sure we've got it in the progress report.
Basically, it's going to be Doctor Who as done by John Woo. from a basic plotline by Tom Clancy. Now this is even more because it's got all the underlying themes and stuff that John Woo does. You've got all the stuff about loyalty and betrayal and all that kind of thing, among other things.
One put it with a click or two.
Exactly.
Okay, you're probably the only Doctor Who writer to have sunk to the depths of wearing costumes at conventions.
Not quite. I know that Steve Cole, who used to be the editor and co-wrote Parallel 59 and Ancestor Cell, did turn up at Panopticon earlier this year wearing the Starfleet uniform.
Right, that doesn't count as
But that's not really count as a uniform, that counts as just being a sad yet.
Yeah, but at least he wasn't in Famous Five.
No, but you're different because you wear costumes as well as that.
Okay.
I'm talking to somebody who only does a Starfleet uniform and thinks that's being in costume.
So you are still going to be Doctor Who writer?
Just a bit, I would think so, yeah.
If you had unlimited
Certainly
time,
the only one to have done it in the costume you made yourself.
Absolutely. Unlimited time, money and resources, which costume would you get?
Oh, there are so many. I love today's 4th season Avon, the leather jacket with all the studs. I'd also love today something like the full Klingon battle armour. But it was something I'd seen somewhere and it's all... Oh, General Clytus, that would be fun.
Oh.
I want to do General Clytus at a convention. I knew that you've conveniently got that.
Can you do the voice?
I can't remember what you said. What was it?
Very unlikely.
That was Peter Wingard, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's...
This man doing the ultimate English accent.
Very deep voice.
That's going to come out Sean Connery.
No, actually, I'm trying to remember what he sounded like.
Who's Sean Connery doing?
I don't know.
Very cultured, very quiet, very menacing.
No, I'm actually trying to think of any of his lines, because I can't remember what lines he said. He does a fall on your sword.
Fall on your sword.
No, I couldn't do that. I mean, there's some voices
That sounded like Sean Connery.
Yes,
fall on your sword.
Yeah, that was.
The only man who can get away with playing a Russian and a Spaniard with a Scottish
But but he gets some stick for that. But you have to admit, if he can convince you, and he does, that he is a top Russian submarine captain, completely a Scottish accent, if he can convince you that he is that top Russian submarine captain, that is good going.
What's impressive
I think that's his best role, actually.
As he gets older, he spends less and less time in Scotland. His accent gets thicker and thicker. Because when he was
to be Spanish by now, wouldn't it?
playing Bond and other roles, his accent was almost nothing.
It's because you compensate, because you didn't want to sort of go native.
Yeah.
It's the problem, really.
Well, how handy are you with a sewing machine?
We haven't got one. It's all by hand.
We do everything
badly. Well, because there's some things by hand very well, and some things like sewing badly. Because we have this problem, sort of, seeing the thread and needle.
Why, because you
let's want it for yourself.
You staples.
Oh, we did that day. All the leather patches on Jakar's coat are stapled on.
Most of my costume last night was blue.
We have some Velcro, but I've got some Velcro bits on the
You've got to sew your Velcro on.
Sticky Velcro.
Oh, right.
Only the sticky comes off before the Velcro detaches.
Because the lapel folds under here.
Thanks for backing up there, well done.
So I can wear it as an open suit jacket as well.
I've got a question.
A lot of my costume
How
last
confident
night
are you
was
winning the big
coffee.
Vanity quiz? And you better bloody be, because I've got £20 on you.
Talking of which, I have the opening questions. The Dave McIntee eliminated questions. What Dave's answer after is teams of 4. Again, same procedure.
Because you have to move certain way. But for the purposes of it and masquerades, which is what the workshop will be about, you didn't have to do that.
This is what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm training this kid. I'm choreographing Joe there. fight and redemption as well, which should be fun. The other thing, what I was saying about with regard to doing things that you wouldn't normally do. You're my commerce assistant. Okay. I was intending to make notes. The important thing is you want the movements to be big. I shall demonstrate what happened in the late semi-Euro last year and possibly get killed for it, because I think you were one of the ones running it. Basically, in a real fight, for example, your opponent, your thing you're doing, or that you want to do, is get rid of your opponent as quickly as possible. So you will use smaller moves. So you might do something like, inside, put you in the leg. But in a stage fight, you're not going to do that. You're going to do sort of, bang, and then back here, and all that kind of stuff. And this is the important difference. You're also going to probably, because if you're doing it as a masquerade entry, you're not necessarily going to be experienced. And so, you're probably going to get quite tired very quickly with the moves, so you want to pad it out with the other stuff. You might want to pad it out with shuffling around, with drinking around. You might want to pad it out with verbal dialogue.
Just run through that one again.
Right, well, first and foremost, what you want to do is disarm. Or we'll do it the other way round.
Okay.
Right, you disarm me. Right, then I'm going to go.
Yeah, okay.
And then the Ashford and Kev. Gary Stratton is my commerce assistant there.
Oh yeah, no, Gary.
Which means I'll probably in return, because he says that he's going to let me whack him with swords if necessary, which means I'll probably by return I'll be letting him throw me about the place of the martial arts then.